And as they sat there, warming themselves on the campfire, a strange wind started to blow through the canyon. A very eerie wind. Then the sound of the wind changed. The sound of the wind became the sound of a ghost, a spirit crying out in the night. Then the spirit began to speak. I am the spirit of the giant's cave bear. I warn you, do not kill the last bear, for if you kill the last bear in the canyon, no more will come. And you will go back to eating rabbits and squirrels and rats. Do not kill the last cave bear. And with that warning, the voice in the wind disappeared. And the hunters stood up. They stood up and they turned to one another and they said, "Oh, did you hear that?" And they went, "Well, yeah, duh, I was sitting right here. I heard the whole thing." "Well, should we ask the leader of the hunters if we should go kill the last bear?" And they said, "Should we go kill the last bear?" And the leader said, what the heck, let's go anyway. So the next morning, they gathered a great big group of the hunters. They borrowed hunters from other tribes, and they all set out as the sun came out to go and kill another cave bear. And they found the cave where the last of the cave bear lived. And they surrounded the cave. And when the giant bear came out to greet the morning sun, the hunters let loose with their spears and their arrows and their atlatl darts. But as if by magic, all the spears and arrows bounced off the coat of the bear. They could not penetrate his thick fur until one hunter, specially armed with an obsidian point such as this. Obsidian was made almost like black glass and was very sharp and could kill very easily. But it was very fragile and could break. So only the best of the hunters were allowed to use an obsidian point. And the best hunter in the tribe had a spear with an obsidian point. And he threw the spear, and the spear went right into the heart of the giant bear. And the giant bear started to bleed. And the red blood fell down onto the stones and the rock, turning it red forever. The giant bear began to run. And the cave bear ran away from the hunters, and everywhere the cave bear ran, the red blood fell to the ground, turning the ground and the rocks red forever. And the giant cave bear ran all the way around the canyon, coloring all the rocks red, filling the canyon with blood. Finally, the giant cave bear made its way back to its cave home. The hunters had left and gone back down to their village. But the cave bear looked out over the beautiful canyon and knew that he would be the last of his kind to ever see this beautiful land, even though now it had been colored red with his blood. And because he knew he was the last one to ever see this canyon, it made him sad. And he began to cry. And as he cried, that strange wind started to blow again. And this time the wind blew so strong that it actually picks up stones and rocks and covers the bear. And when the wind finally stops, the giant cave bear has vanished. He has disappeared. But in his place, there's a pile of rocks in the shape of a giant bear. And this story, as most good stories do, ends with a warning. And the warning is this: if someday you are out hiking in what is now called Red Rock Canyon, thanks to the blood from the giant bear, and as you hike through Red Rock Canyon, you come across a giant cave, and you look over to the side, I tell you, be very careful, because there you'll find a pile of rocks that looks like a giant cave bear guarding its cave home forever and ever. And that is the Paiute Indian legend on how Red Rock Canyon became red. Thank you very much.